If I told you that in Southeast Asia, the country with the most submarines is not necessarily the one with the most terrifying undersea force, would you believe it? It sounds counterintuitive, but look closer at the real picture. In 2024, The Diplomat observed that major powers like the United States and Australia are now racing to develop unmanned underwater vehicles, or UUVs. Why? Because they have realized that multi-billion-dollar nuclear submarines are becoming increasingly vulnerable to detection and destruction. They are no longer the ultimate sword. They are slowly turning into massive mobile targets. Here lies the paradox. While Indonesia is aggressively expanding its fleet of Nagapasa-class submarines, and Singapore is investing heavily in its cutting-edge Type 218 SG boats, Vietnam operates just 6 Kilo-class submarines, a Soviet-era design, a modest number, a design many consider outdated compared to modern European technology. So the question is obvious. Is Vietnam falling behind in the undersea arms race? Or is this apparent modesty in numbers and platform choice actually a different strategy altogether, a sharp and deliberate move? What many overlook is this. Vietnam does not build large submarines. Instead, it focuses on what truly matters, stealth and precision strike. Vietnam is playing a different game. And that is the game we need to dissect today. Southeast Asia, home to some of the world's most strategic maritime choke points, such as the Malacca, Sunda, and Lombok Straits, is rapidly becoming an invisible battlefield beneath the waves. Surface power is easy to detect and easy to counter, but underwater, submarines remain the ultimate wildcard, silent assets capable of rewriting the rules of engagement overnight. This is not a contest of brute force. Submarines are not offensive weapons by default. They are weapons of deterrence, a cold, silent warning. You may enter, but you will never know when, where, or how you will be sunk. Let's examine the main players. According to global firepower data in 2023, Indonesia harbors the largest submarine ambitions in the region, planning to expand its fleet to 8 to 10 boats to secure more than 17,000 islands. This is the logic of an archipelagic state, coverage over vast maritime space. Singapore takes the opposite approach. Jane's Defense Weekly reports that Singapore spent approximately USD $1.6 billion on just 2 Type 218 SG submarines, making them among the most expensive diesel-electric submarines ever built. Singapore doesn't need many submarines. It needs perfection and near absolute stealth in extremely confined waters. And Vietnam? 6 Kilo-class Project 636 submarines, nearly a decade in service. No flashy numbers, no expensive AIP hype, yet they have quietly altered the strategic balance in the region. So the real question is this: who is moving in the right direction? Who is overspending, and what exactly is Vietnam's unique submarine strategy? The Southeast Asian submarine race can be divided into 3 clearly defined schools of thought, shaped by geography, defense doctrine, and, quite frankly, budget constraints. The Numbers and Partnerships School, Indonesia and Thailand. This approach prioritizes scale and affordability. Indonesia, with its vast maritime territory, needs to deploy submarines across multiple zones. It chose the Nagapasa class, a South Korean variant of the Type 209. This is a pragmatic choice, affordable, easier to operate than European submarines, and available through strategic partnerships. However, this is a visible game. More holes, more presence. The problem is maintenance. Operating a large submarine fleet sourced from multiple suppliers creates chronic logistical and financial strain. In 2022, CSIS warned of serious challenges in maintaining readiness and sustainability across Indonesia's submarine force. Buying submarines is easy, keeping them operational is the real challenge. Thailand falls into a similar category with its decision to procure China's Yuan-class submarines, an attempt to balance capability and supply chains. Yet even this effort has been plagued by engine issues, illustrating a hard truth. Arms procurement is never just a transaction. It is deeply tied to technology reliability and geopolitics. 2. The compact high-tech school, Singapore. Singapore represents the opposite extreme. With narrow straits and shallow waters, it does not need large submarines. What it needs is maximum stealth and endurance. Hence the choice of Type 218 SG submarines. Air-independent propulsion allows submarines to remain submerged far longer than conventional diesel-electric boats without surfacing to recharge batteries. This is the strategy of a gatekeeper, expensive but highly effective. Singapore invests in technology to ensure its submarines can disappear into the complex underwater environment of Southeast Asia for extended periods. Singapore does not compete on size. It competes on silence. 3. The Green Water Defense and Kilo 636 Strategy, Vietnam. And here lies the most intriguing case. 6 Kilo-class Project 636 Varshavyanka submarines. Why Kilo? First, let's be clear. The Kilo is not the newest submarine design, but it remains one of the quietest diesel-electric submarines ever built. The Russian Navy once claims that Vietnam's Kilo 636 boats are so silent that NATO dubbed them the black holes of the ocean. At patrol speeds, they are reportedly quieter than many U.S. Los Angeles-class nuclear submarines. Vietnam did not buy submarines to cross oceans. Vietnam bought submarines to turn the South China Sea, especially its coastal waters, into a killing ground for any large fleet that dares to enter. Vietnam's littoral environment is complex. Islands, reefs, rapidly changing depths. Nuclear submarines, despite their powers, struggle in shallow waters. The Kilo 636 thrives there. Moreover, Vietnam's Kilos are armed with 3 M54 caliber Club S cruise missiles. In 2020, Quan Doi Nhan Zan highlighted their long-range anti-ship and land attack capabilities. The ability to strike from underwater at extended ranges creates a massive strategic threat zone. In essence, Vietnam is playing a different game altogether, a pincer and dead port strategy. The Kilo submarines form the underwater pincer, coordinating with coastal missile batteries to establish a robust A2-AD zone along Vietnam's shores. But the game is changing. Here is the angle few channels talk about. The future of undersea warfare belongs to unmanned underwater vehicles. While regional states remain locked in the diesel-electric submarine race, major powers are looking ahead. Defense News confirmed in 2024 that the U.S. Navy has prioritized its Large Unmanned Undersea Vehicle (LUUV) program as part of its Undersea Warfare 3.0 strategy, with widespread deployment expected by the end of this decade. The reason is simple. Manned submarines are expensive to operate and maintain, and the risk to crews is unacceptable in high-tech warfare. UUVs can act as decoys, conduct long-range reconnaissance, or even carry weapons without risking human lives. This is the strategic vulnerability across Southeast Asia. Even Singapore and Indonesia face immense financial and manpower pressure to sustain their submarine fleets. So, where does Vietnam stand? Vietnam already has experience with small underwater systems and fast attack platforms. This positions it well to develop indigenous UUVs or pursue targeted cooperation. If Vietnam successfully integrates short-range UUVs with its Kilo fleet, these unmanned systems could scout ahead, clear paths, and serve as protective shields for the submarines. The result? A layered, unpredictable undersea force and a new strategic equilibrium. Ultimately, the Southeast Asian submarine race is not about who owns the biggest boats. It is about who can turn their waters into a silent black hole and who will master undersea warfare in the unmanned era first. Vietnam's submarine strategy proves one thing. True power does not lie in size or quantity, but in strategic fit and intelligent use of technology, transforming what appears outdated into a lethal, invisible weapon. What do you think about the role of Kilo-class submarines in Vietnam's modern defense strategy? Should Vietnam invest in European AIP submarines or focus on UUV development? Leave your analysis in the comments below. In the next episode, we surface to tackle an even more controversial question. Southeast Asian frigates, an expensive steel hull arms race, or a balanced naval strategy? We'll directly compare formidable Singapore, Sigma, Indonesia, Gepard, Vietnam, and Jose Rizal, Philippines, to see who truly holds the balance. Don't forget to subscribe to Minh Quan Story as we continue to break down the truths behind the numbers.
Minh Quan Defense. News analyzed differently.